If you're moving to Lincoln and you've got, say, about a $400,000 budget, where do you even start? Well, most people think the first thing we should do is just jump in and start looking at houses, but I don't. So when someone calls me and says, Ryan, we're moving to Lincoln and our budget's around $400,000, what kind of house can we buy? Well, I'm not going to start by talking about houses, and I don't immediately start naming neighborhoods. I start by asking questions about them. So before we ever look at online listings or drive through a neighborhood or set up showings, I want to understand you. So what does your life look like? What's your lifestyle? Do you have kids or pets, and how many? Do you work from home? Do you love entertaining? What do your weekends look like, or what do you want them to look like? Would you enjoy taking care of a yard, or would you rather have HOA, handle the lawn and snow removal? Are you hoping to walk to coffee shops, or would you rather have a bigger yard and a quieter neighborhood? Do you want to be close to downtown? Do you need quick access to the interstate? Maybe you want to know your neighbors, maybe you don't. Or would you rather have something newer, modern, fairly low maintenance? Because around $400,000, you can buy a really nice home in several different parts of Lincoln. The question usually isn't whether you can find a nice home, it's what kind of nice fits your lifestyle. And that is really what I want to and love to help people figure out. So today I want to walk you through 3 different parts of Lincoln and explain not just what the houses look like, or what you could expect, but what it might actually feel like to live there. So we'll start with historic and central Lincoln. So when I drive relocation or local buyers into neighborhoods like Country Club near South or some of the areas around Woods Park, the first thing I usually point out is the great tree canopy. Well, trees are mature, and in some places they create a ceiling over the street. You'll see medians and boulevards and streets that curve or wind instead of being perfectly square and uniform blocks. The roads make you slow down. Those streets, they just help you enjoy the neighborhood. You notice people walking dogs, parents pushing strollers, neighbors out walking, people maintaining beautiful yards, neighbors just interacting when they see each other passing by. You can tell many of these homes have been cared for across generations, and so people aren't just proud of their homes, they're proud to be a part of their neighborhood. The buyers who tend to fall in love with these areas usually care a lot about that character, community, and atmosphere. They love original hardwood floors, covered porches, all that wood trim, historic architecture, and the variety you get from one house to the next. They maybe enjoy being near older parks, historic schools, pockets of neighborhood retail that feel like they've always been there. So parts of near South and Emerald Hill area, there are some really stately homes. There's also bungalow districts around Irvingdale and Stransky Park. Nearby here, Sewell Street will take you by Sheridan School and Leon's Gourmet Grocer. So much personality around there that you really can't find from an online listing. You might catch a number of bedrooms and square footage in photos, but it can't show you how an entire block in a neighborhood really comes together. Can't show you that feeling of mature trees and front porches and homes that have their own personality. So I also, of course, am honest with buyers about the trade-offs, and I say that old homes are a relationship. Century homes especially. They have quirks, you have to learn them. Plaster walls, original floors. These things might have some dings, older tile or a layout that doesn't function exactly like a new construction home that's more modern. You might have a detached garage, and if the home hasn't been added onto over the years, an attached garage may just not be part of the picture. I live in an older bungalow myself, and I love that my 2-car carriage house sits at the back of the lot. It means the garage isn't dominating the front of the house, and the character of the home gets to be the focus. Do I always love my 100-foot driveway? No, especially not in the winter, and so that's why I hire out my snow removal. But that is part of the relationship with an old home. You accept certain trade-offs because you value what the home and neighborhood give you in return. Well, maybe you like the character in established neighborhoods, but you don't necessarily want a home that's, close to 100 years old. And that's when my mind starts moving more to the east. As you head east, there's my cat Robbie, hey. You start to see a shift. You start to see more homes from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You see brick ranches, lower roof lines, single-story living, and really interesting mid-century details. Well, the streets may curve and meander instead of staying in that strict grid again, but terrain also begins to roll in places, so you might find some walkout ranches and homes that interact with the landscape differently than they do in an older, flatter part of town. You still have mature trees, established parks and neighborhoods. There's still plenty of character to be had and found and enjoyed, but it's a different kind of character. So historic Lincoln feels timeless and traditional. You head east and it's still classic, but it's maybe like a little more hip and modern. You might have a really solid brick ranch on one block and then something more angular or distinctly modern just around the corner. Well, personally, I love the bones of a post-war 1950s, 1960s ranch. A lot of those homes were built with really comfortable layouts and large windows, really good construction. They might have one-level living, generous entertaining space, or a walkout lower level that really works well for a family. They often give buyers character without asking them to commit to a century-old house and everything that comes with it. Well, I had some clients a few years ago that contacted me about a listing that I had. It was a Tudor revival in an old part of Lincoln. They liked it, but it wasn't quite right. And we looked at some homes in country club area, nice homes, cool character, but none of them were quite right. So eventually we walked into a mid-century ranch in Eastridge. A low roof line, a large open great room, a fireplace and a hearth, dining area, great windows looking into a backyard. Kitchen still had some vintage appliances. There was a built-in desk in the corner of the great room. This reminded them of a mid-century condo they lived in before, and it really, really fit them. It felt comfortable, interesting, and a little unexpected. And that's something that I mention to buyers all the time. Sometimes we have to see the homes that are a no before we can recognize the one that's a yes. No showing is ever wasted time. So that process is part of just figuring out where you belong. And if someone tells me they want a cool ranch, a brick ranch, mature trees, established surroundings and character, without everything feeling really, classically old, East Lincoln is what I think about. Eastridge, Taylor Meadows, places like that. Well, then if we go to South Lincoln, it's even more different. A lot of times you're buying convenience, newer construction, modern layouts, and access to just about everything that you need without driving very far. South Point Pavilions is a great mall, shopping center, Costco, Trader Joe's, those kind of places, restaurants, grocery stores, doctors, banks, daycares, gyms, boutiques, all those everyday services you look for. So you can leave your neighborhood and run several errands and be back home fairly quickly. Everything is kind of just right there, and that's that modern kind of development, and that's what the appeal is. So you'll tend to see more open concept layouts, larger kitchens, primary suites, main floor laundry, 3-car garages. So for newer homes, Lincoln in the South can make a lot of sense, but again, there are trade-offs. Homes may sit closer together, yards may be smaller. You may be able to see more of your neighbor's backyard or your side yard than you would in another part of town. There's also more traffic lights, more commercial development nearby. Well, South Lincoln gives you access to almost everything though, but everybody else is also getting everything at the same time too, and that's just part of the reality. So for many buyers, it is still completely worth it, and I can definitely see why. They want to be near shopping and restaurants, schools, trails, and services. They like the idea of getting the kids to daycare, stopping at the grocery store, grabbing dinner, and picking up dry cleaning, getting home without crossing the entire city. One of the easiest ways to understand Lincoln is to think about how it grew outward sort of in concentric rings. So you've got downtown in the historic core, the near south in the capital, then early neighborhoods surrounding it, including country club. As you move further out, you see more mid-century homes, 50s and 60s, and homes from the 70s and 80s. Further south, you move into the 1990s, 2000s, and newer development construction. Well, it's not an exact rule, but it does explain why different parts of Lincoln can feel so different from one another. So when somebody asks me what is the best neighborhood in Lincoln, I honestly don't think that there is one answer. So there may be a best neighborhood for you, but that is a very different question. So for around $400,000, you can find a beautiful historic home, the covered porch and mature trees and all that character. You can find a well-built mid-century ranch with a walkout basement and a deep yard. You can find a newer home with a modern floor plan and shopping a few minutes away or right around the corner. You might find new construction townhomes where lawn care and snow removal are handled for you. Things are efficient and all electric. Those are all good choices. Well, what matters is whether the home and the neighborhood support the way you actually want to live. So that's why I don't just start with the neighborhood, I want to start with you. So I want to know what is important to you. how you spend your time, what you value day to day, how much maintenance you want or don't want or can handle, even how social you are, if you want a close-knit neighborhood or maybe a little more privacy, how you work, how you relax, and what you want your weekends to feel like and look like. And then we go out and look, and I learn more and more with each and every showing. So sometimes we have to see a few homes that are clearly wrong before that right one becomes obvious, and I love that. Well, my job is not just opening doors and buying you a house. It's to pay attention to what makes you slow down, what makes you smile, what makes you keep talking after we leave. Those little reactions are often what help us figure out where you'll feel at home and if you see yourself in that home. So whether you're planning to move to Lincoln this month or next year, let's walk through it and talk about your lifestyle, the parts of Lincoln that might fit you, and then check out those homes. So give me a call, send me a text, or reach out by email. And if you'd like to know more about these or other neighborhoods you maybe heard about or read about or have your eye on, just drop a comment below. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.